Hi everybody, and I just want to introduce another young one we have in our barn right now. This is Whinny, a 2-year-old quarter horse filly, and this is her second ride, so that would be why we are a little cautious when getting on. The first few rides we just treat like the first ride every time and build on it every time. You can see she kind of wanted to walk forward a little bit after he sat there in that stirrup, so he just kind of waited for her to stop, and she was kind of pulling on his foot on his hand, so he kind of waited there until she got soft and then gave the release and stepped off for an extra release. And then he's gonna mount again, and he always will brush his foot across her butt. We spend a lot of time when we first start riding horses, brushing their butt and their shoulders to make sure that they are okay with whatever we are going to touch them on whenever we mount them. Our first few steps every time we ride a young horse that is the screen is to just ask them to just make a small little circle. We're not asking for a whole lot of forward movement in this circle. We're just asking for them to kind of break their feet loose and kind of move their body a little bit. And then we'll kind of let them make the decision on when they are ready to move forward and go straight. This is Whinny's first time in the big arena. We have her first ride was in the round pen, so she didn't get a whole lot of room to move in there. So it's really encouraging to see how well she is riding out in this large area, and how well she is allowing us to control her. She's not super soft yet. We're going to work on that, and you'll see in this next clip we're starting to introduce the indirect rein to work on that. So he is not only pulling with the direct rein towards the inside of the bend, but he is also placing that outside rein on her neck to kind of encourage her to start understanding neck reining and following through that turn with her shoulder. He is also using his feet. We start off from the very beginning teaching a horse to move off our feet. And that way, whenever we go to start teaching the more advanced maneuvers, the horse understands what we're asking for. And you see right here, he is encouraging a little more forward movement, and it is really nice that she picked up that trot pretty smoothly. And then he went out of frame, so we skipped over to the next segment and to where he was actually in frame again. It's really hard with these younger horses when you don't have a cameraman there to get good video. Hopefully one day we will have a Pivo or one of those robotic cameras to follow us around, but as of right now we just have a little stand to put our phone on, so every now and again we jump out of frame while we are riding. You can see here that he has got her going really nice and forward. That's super good to see. When we first started this mare on her first ride, she was not very forward, so we two-manned her, had a man on the ground flagging her, and he was riding her, so that way he didn't have to do all the pushing on the forward movement. It just kind of encourages them to break their feet loose without getting them too dead to our legs. You saw her go over that tarp just a second ago. That is really awesome to see on a second ride. We kind of like to have little obstacles out in the arena, and this little mare has got quite a bit of confidence already, and she's actually quite well balanced also, so she has a ton of potential as a nice performance horse. She's already picking up canters, which is really exciting to see, and she's actually holding the correct lead as well. She also seems like a mare that is probably going to have a pretty big, nice stop on her. You kind of saw her for a second duck her nose down and kind of scrunch her butt under her during that canter. She was searching for that stop and he wasn't asking for it. We haven't worked on her stop yet, so you won't see that in any of these video segments, but that is definitely the next step we will start focusing on. You see our big ball in the arena. We like to use these balls as obstacles, as things to move around, and it's really cool because you can set these things up in a pattern, but then if a horse bumps them, it changes the pattern, and then you can just go with the flow, and it gets horses used to things moving around. But that was a really encouraging session with Whinny, and we're excited for her future.